With the help of phasors and Pythagoras theorem, we have reached at this point that voltage, maximum voltage across the source must be equal to Vrm, maximum voltage across the resistor, square of that, plus Vcm minus Vlm, voltage across the capacitor minus voltage across the inductor, square of this, using this phasor diagram and Pythagoras theorem. So now let us put the values of Vrm, Vcm and Vlm, because that we have already calculated. Vrm is Im into R, Vcm is Im into Xc, Vlm is Im into XL. Let us put all these values. So Vm square is equal to value of Vrm is Im into R, square of this. Vcm is Im Xc, Vlm is Im XL, whole square of this. Let us take Im common. So R square, from this we get Xc minus XL square. So this is Vm square, voltage across the source. Now from this what we get, Im square is equal to Vm square divided by R square plus Xc minus XL square. So we take this in this side. So now let us take the under root. Im must be equal to Vm and divided by under root R square plus Xc minus XL whole square. So this is the relation between Im and Vm. So what we did, we put the value of Vm, Vrm, Vcm and Vlm. So this is Im R square, this is Im Xc minus Im XL, square of this, and we take Im square common. This is R square XL minus Xc minus XL square. So Im is equal to, we take the under root, so Vm divided by under root of this quantity R square plus Xc minus XL square. So we have defined a relation between voltage and current for the source. Now let us define a new quantity. So we know what is Ohm's law. Ohm's law is V is equal to IR. Similarly, I is equal to V upon R. So here I is equal to V upon something, this quantity. So we have to define this quantity as we previously did in case of inductance and capacitance. So what is this quantity? So let us define this quantity. We define this quantity as Z, and Z is called impedance. So Z is one of the most important quantities, because always or in most of the cases resistance is not pure. There is no resistive circuit. There are some capacitive and inductive elements present in a circuit, and combination of resistance, capacitance and inductive circuits, that quantity is called impedance. Impedance has all of them, Xc, XL and R. So what is Z here? Z is equal to under root R square plus Xc minus XL square. This is called Z, and Z is impedance. So Z is very important quantity, because in most of the circuit, with the resistance there is some capacitive element and some inductive elements present. Since phasor I is always parallel to VR, so that we know that I and VR must always be parallel. So phase angle phi between VR and V can be determined from this equation. If we see this diagram, this impedance diagram, this is the same diagram that we have seen previously. Only thing is that it is now instead of voltage, it is in terms of Z, R and Xc, XL, because we know this voltage is simply Im Suppose we are taking for R. So this Im into R. If we are taking C, this is Im into Xc. So this is same diagram. So let us go back and check that diagram. So this was our diagram. This was our diagram. So this was V, this was VR, and this was Vc plus VL, and the magnitude was VCM minus VLM. Here it was VRM and this was VM. Now let us put the values here. Since current is common, dividing every side by current Im. So current Im, what we get if we divide this by current? So VRM upon Im. So what we get? We get R. So this side will be R. VCM is equal to Im Xc. So this VCM upon Im, because current is same, VCM upon Im is Xc. So this is Xc minus VLM is Im XL. So divide by Im, this will become XL. So this is a triangle between R, Xc minus XL, and this side is total impedance of the circuit that we have calculated. So this is Z. So this is a triangle between R, Z and Xc minus XL, and this angle is phi. Same triangle, instead of voltage, if we divide with a common current, that is Im, so we can show it like this. Same diagram. So this in front of phi, this is Xc minus XL. With phi this side is R and this hypotenuse is Z, that means impedance. So now it is called impedance diagram or impedance triangle. Now from this impedance triangle, what we can say? We see that this tan phi is Xc minus XL upon R. If we multiply this again, so this, what is tan phi? Tan phi is Xc minus XL upon R. So this is written here, Xc minus XL upon R. If we multiply all the terms with Im here, and Im here. So what we get? This Im Xc VCM, this Im XL is minus VLM, this IMR is VRM. So same triangle. If we divide by I, we get in terms of impedance and reactance and resistance. If we don't divide by Im, then we get the same triangle in terms of voltages. So we get tan phi is equal to Xc minus XL divided by R. So now let us see this equation 7.26 and 7.27. So equation 7.26 was equation for impedance, that means Z is equal to R square plus Xc minus XL whole square. This was equation 7.26 and this equation 7.27 are graphically shown in this figure. So this is graphical representation. This is same triangle, but when we divide this triangle in V divided by I, so we get this kind of triangle. This is called impedance diagram. This is impedance diagram, which is a right angle triangle with Z as hypotenuse. So this is a right angle triangle. As we can see, this angle is right angle and Z is its hypotenuse. And what was there in case of this VCM diagram? So this was V, this was VCM minus VLM, and this side was VRM. This was simply VM. So this was same voltage diagram now converted into impedance diagram. Equation 7.25a gives the amplitude of the current and equation 7.27 gives the phase angle. With these, equation 7.21 is completely satisfied. So equation 7.25 is Im equal to Vm upon this impedance R square plus Xc minus XL square. So this is giving the amplitude of the current. So here we are getting what is the amplitude of the current. This equation 7.27 is giving the phase angle of the current. So tan phi we get, tan phi was Xc minus XL upon R. So this was giving the phase angle. How can we determine phase angle? Tan inverse of this Xc minus XL upon R. So in this way we can determine the phase angle. And what was this equation 7.21? Initially we determined this I is equal to I max sine omega t plus phi. Now all the things are determined. This Im is determined and this phi is determined. Hence now we can write what is the time dependent current in the circuit. So in this way we found what is the time dependent current in the circuit.